I think I'm going to start with the short-term roadmap, like slave-free trade, and have a discussion on that, and then move into general, like the next step after them. So, okay, let's just do it. Slave-free trade. These guys are great.
This is more like the pilot, right? That
Yeah.
we're trying to have.
God,
What exactly they do, these guys?
Yeah. So slave-free trade has this amazing, is giving us, I feel like it's the perfect partnership for a pilot, right? So what they do is they actually just put a little sticker on jeans, socks, they add something to a label and they certify that this is slave-free, right? Slave-free from where was the cotton picked to, you know, the actual like selling of the shirt. So they are really excited about, so really what they are is they are a third-party certification agency. So instead of being USD organic, it's like an independent organic label. And they want to be funded. They're dealing with this exact issue that we're talking about with reviewers, right? Because reviewers are basically a third-party certification agency. And they want to be, they're a foundation in Switzerland, and they want to be, and maybe Grace, I don't know, maybe you know more about them than I do. But they want to get their funding from donations so that they can avoid these issues that we're talking about with the reviewers, right? Because
So they consist, there are about 70 people already behind this project.
in a great community.
And yeah, it's quite strongly supported. And they're doing all kinds of research and trying to understand how they can review that logistics, that process that goes from, from the material to the actual product. And it's quite complex because you need to follow every step of the way. So they are creating a model that allows them to do that. And they want to replicate this model with all kinds of stuff, our computers, our clothes, or anything that we buy. And obviously it's quite an ambitious project if you think about it. They need to start small, so they need to start with something that allows them to follow the whole process. And this is where we come in as enablers to be able to get some funds to put this process in place, because it's quite resource intensive as well. Not only resources of people, but also funding.
Yeah, so they're also trying to bring in blockchain provenance systems. So they're working with consensus. I mean, I don't know how much they're working with everybody, but I know that Joseph Lubin is kind of working with the talks with them once in a while, and that he did a great job at this conference, and I really don't think it'll be hard for us to raise ether for these guys. I'm actually really, I feel like we're really blessed, honestly, because he took off his clothes on stage in front of so many people who now have 3 times as much money as they did 3 weeks ago, right? So this is an opportunity, and I'm just going to be blunt about it because this is what's going on.
It's quite an amazing guy because he does have the credibility and the reputation to lead this.
Yeah,
And the
he
people
was
that are
like
behind it, yes, he was
FBI investigator or something. Worked for the
specifically on
CIA.
this, on trafficking and
Human trafficking.
and how people being exploited, and the cases that he had to go and resolve and be part of and lead are just amazing. So this guy can tell you stories. This is why you can understand why he felt that this was something that was needed.
I think I'm going to make a mandatory that we all watch the YouTube crypto, good old crypto, right? Omar Bam made a great YouTube video recording the speech live, and I think we should all probably watch it, so I'll put it on our general channel. That explains their whole thing, right? And what we want to do for them is basically make them a campaign, right? And so we already have a campaign. I'm just going to keep going. But
Need to work with them for milestones.
yes,
set them up.
they're working on milestones. We're going to call them tomorrow, and we're going to have a conversation with them and check in with how their milestones are and see what they align with. So, third-party certification is near and dear to my heart, so I'm really excited about working with these guys. we should probably still, we gotta keep them honest, right? So that's the whole goal. At least that's my goal as a reviewer. So let's talk about their milestone. Well, what are we doing for them, right? So slave-free trade is which I'm going to call SFT, is a campaign. Actually, you know what? It's actually a project. At least the way we've been defining it. Because right now we don't have delegates. We do kind of have a campaign manager for the project. Well, we have a project manager, basically, right? We don't have our full system in place, but we do have a lot. We have our milestone tracker, and they're going to fill out what is required in the milestone tracker. And they see that I showed them the list, and I told them exactly what they need to do. Although I'll probably remind them tonight. Okay. Who's responsible for reminding me to remind them tonight? Somebody?
What?
Is that a milestone?
Yeah, that's a milestone. Someone needs to tell me to send Brian a message tonight about what they need to put in their milestone.
I'll try it. I'll put it in my reminder.
Thank you, Boy Tech. You're a lifesaver.
Did you want me to just send a message now?
If you can, I obviously can't at this moment. But
I know, I can do it.
yeah, you send a message to me too, to remind him, because I have a spiel that it's already saved on my thing. So,
So he needs to send us a milestone, is that what it is?
yeah, don't tell him though. Tell me to tell him what needs to be in the milestones.
Ah, okay.
Because, and this is what we'll talk about. So each milestone, actually, I would like to just whip out my milestone spreadsheet. So their project, their money is going to be locked up the second it's donated. Basically, in our system, we're shortcutting. Anyone who's donating to these guys is donating directly to a project. That money is locked up. There's no waiting period. They're actually for this lockup, unlike what we're talking about in the normal system. So we don't have any of that in place yet. So money's gonna be locked up right away. They are, the reviewer is me, because that is always the most important part, right? Although I wouldn't mind it if it wasn't just me, but if it was one of X multi-city, right? Because the only thing I can do as a reviewer is say no. But it would be nice if somebody wants to be on multi-city. We'll talk about it later. And then, let's see. So the reviewer can only cancel. Can only reject. But we have another role that we don't really talk about very much, which we don't have a name for. Yeah, it's silly. It's actually, maybe it's not so silly. We call it the donor. Right? We actually have a role that we call the donor. And what the donor does is donor rep is what I'll call it. Donor representative. And what they do is they can reject or accept milestones. And these guys can or approve. Which makes a 1 of X multi-sig kind of tough. So maybe I just like a 1 of 3. It'd just be nice to have 2 other people that want to play this game. So reject or approve. The reviewer rejects or approves completion. But the donor representative rejects or approves milestone proposals. Okay, so when they actually come up with their milestones, they're going to put them in our system, and I will either, and this is just going to be, it doesn't need, so I'm going to work with them, no one else is going to do anything anyway. So I'm going to work with them to make sure that this happens correctly, and honestly, this is all going to happen in a spreadsheet, and I'll just, and I'll reject it off chain, and then I'll end up accepting them when they finally submit them, because I'll probably put them in our website in the first place.
Are we doing all this without a proper user interface that allows for them to be able to?
We have the user interface. I mean, I'm not proud of it, but it's there, and we're doing it. Now, there is something I really want to show you guys, and I think it's valuable to just to spend a second here, put it on the screen, because it's so important.
Turn the TV off.
Thank you.
Good job.
And then
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know I had that. Oh, okay. Let's see. It's both. Who's been to our Trello? Raise your hand. Wojtek's been to our Trello. OJ, us has been to our Trello. Audrey has been to our Trello. Who else has been to our Trello? Grace has been to our Trello. Danny, you've been to our Trello. Okay. Who has not been to our Trello? Well, obviously, Kai has not been. Jordy?
I don't know, maybe in the beginning. but-
Jordy's never been to our Trello. Perry's never been to our Trello. Okay. You have. Exactly. What's Trello, right? Okay, so we're actually using Trello. You know who's really good at Trello? Jason. Jason has gotten a lot done because of this Trello. And however, we are still working, and there's some things that Jason is not on top of right now. I think because CNN has got him working really hard. I don't know if someone like called in sick for a couple weeks or something. He told me something, I forgot. But we have this Trello board, and it has some things that are high priority that it would probably be really good to get up there for slave-free trade, so that when people are donating and they go to actually see that their donations are being used effectively, that that we're not embarrassed when they go to our website. Here's hoping. Okay, so the highest priority is right here, right? So we have our to-dos. So this is, okay, first let me go back. All right, we have lots of Trello boards. Oh, come on. Just go.
I think it's that one.
Is it really not? Okay, fine.
Boards.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So we have lots of Trello boards. Look, we have a hackathon Trello board that's happening right now. We have a testing the vault system Trello board that no one's ever been on. We have a long-term design that no one's ever been on. We have general to-dos that I do for myself. Oh, you went to long-term design?
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't do anything. But
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, good. You know, that's the first part. And then we have Trello. Trello is really exciting. Our Trello board is insane. We have a really detailed Trello board, so we'll see how that goes. But the board we're on right now is the current DApp, and this is the most important board. And I really hope that we can use this board and actually get some of the stuff done on it, right? So for the campaign deployer, we need to change what the default addresses are, and it's detailed in here what they need to be, right? And I've also put a payment amount here in Ether, right? That if somebody does that, they will get paid 0.2 Ether, which is $60. Just for changing some settings. It really is a quick one, guys. Like, you'll get a high hourly wage. That will not take an hour, I promise. No way. Okay? Find a way to make adding one milestone to an active campaign work. This is the biggest problem with our DApp right now, is that it is impossible to add more milestones because if there's an active milestone. Not because it's not impossible, it's just impractical, because you have to take the active milestones and paste them back in. And I know that that would be easy to code, but it's in practice as a human really annoying to do. And I've done it. Okay. So please, dear God, somebody needs to do that. Otherwise, when slave-free trade goes and wants to change their milestones a little bit, we just say no, right? Because I'm not going to be able to do that. So, and that's not okay, you know. They need to be able to change their milestones when things change a little bit, right? And then it would be my job as a reviewer to actually approve it. Oh wait, right over here is the donor rep to approve whether or not those changes in their milestones are acceptable, right?
But that's like a rewrite of the milestone contract.
Yeah, well, maybe one of them, maybe the price of ether goes up or down a lot, for instance, right? So maybe they have
Yep.
like maybe they have like their next 2 months of milestones up there, and they've achieved a couple of them, but now they're looking at this.
No, I'm not doubting the usability of this. I'm just saying that it requires a touch of the contract and redeployment, maybe of the campaign even.
It does in the smart contract. Well, what's funny is our UI models the smart contract really well, because it does require a whole new deploy of all of the milestones.
Yeah.
However, in the UI, we can probably optimize that drastically by allowing a user to just click add milestone, but don't cancel the others that are active.
You meant like that. You didn't mean to actually alter.
No, the smart
data.
contracts stay in
Okay.
smart contracts. It's a complete UI fix where someone can just click add milestones and they have the option to either delete all the ones that are active and make completely new ones, or just add one milestone. Or edit milestones would be even better, because that's what honestly I expect to be the use case.
To get a roadmap.
Well, to edit, mainly the problem is that we're pricing everything in Ether, and Ether is record high every day, and guess what? It's going to have in price in the next 2 months at some point, okay? Like, I don't know if you guys have been around for this, but this is going to happen, okay? Now, maybe it doubles, and you know, or triples still. Maybe it goes to 1,000 and then it goes back down to 500. I don't know. But I do promise you, there will be a day where you'll be able to, you know, in the next 3-4 months, where you'll be like, wow, I remember Ether was twice this price. Okay, this is just how this world works. And I don't know when that's going to be, but like, be ready for it. And we're using Ether as our base currency, so we're going to need to edit these prices occasionally.
Yeah. Edit the prices.
Yeah.
That was my question. If we can
We can do
something with reviewer,
Here is, we can do
Where?
one thing. Yeah. We
you
can,
automatically take the current price. You price it in dollars, and you take the current price from.
yeah, you can do one thing.
Coinbase.
When you enter money to the system, the Ether goes to the vault, but the quantity that we are working internally can be dollars if you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? And so we do all the very time, everything and all the stuff and everything is in dollars. And in the last moment when you withdraw the dollars, but you do the conversion back to Ether.
Mhm.
Okay?
And I would argue it should be at the time when you get paid.
Well, exactly. At the moment that the money leaves the system,
Yes.
is at the moment so when the moment enters in the transaction, in the same transaction that the money enters the system, it queries some oracle or something that says the price,
Yeah.
okay, and sends accountability in dollars.
Yep.
And when the money leaves the system, just that money is converted back to Ethers. If we want to work in dollars, but I'm not sure if we
Swiss
have
francs.
to work.
Yeah, it'll be Swiss francs. It will be Swiss francs.
Stable.
It's much better if
Stable.
you use Swiss francs.
It's stable.
I mean, in the end, the dollars are scary anyway. Who wants to use the USD?
Swiss francs should be great.
Yeah, Swiss francs, Swiss are pretty chill. But yeah, I mean, I'm down for any creative solution. Honestly, I think because this isn't a long-term strategy, that a UI fix is probably the best way to go.
No, but guys, see, this is I think this is important. Which currency do we use?
I think we let them pick their currency. I think we let them pick their currency, but it's not Ether.
Yeah, but it's a global system, okay? We cannot work in 4 different currencies.
this is the thing, we need to pick a,
The
we work in Ether.
That's the gates again.
We work in
But Ether is Ether.
Yeah.
That's
One
why
Ether
I'm
is
fine
one
with Ether, but Ether, you know, if the price changes, if the price of the Ether changes, that means that we are really not working in Ether. We're working in dollars.
Yeah.
So we are going to do things in the real world.
Giveth is working in Ether. Now, slave-free trade, number one, I don't think they want to work in Ether. Number two, I don't think it's in our best interest to make them work in Ether.
So when we define a milestone, can we define a milestone? We work internally in Ether, but when we define a milestone, we can say that
Should
much
allocate.
in
It should
currency.
allocate the Ether and with
The
some
currency.
potential, like 20% reserve in case it goes down or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we probably need to have some kind of description,
Yeah.
and we probably need to make them make a website with some more of these details, right? Where in the website, we will say something like, if the price of Ether fluctuates from 20% up and down from the price that is set at the origin of whatever, then it is subject to change to reflect the current value of the Ether, right?
But don't respect what? Like US
With respect to the Swiss franc.
the system.
So we're taking a short position on Ether?
No, we're not taking any position because it's not our money. We are building a culture for our pilot campaign, and this is why it's serious, because this is our first chance to, number one, like set a standard, and number two, learn, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna learn a lot.
I think it would be safer to say, so we're gonna raise funds for them? Or the people
No,
who donate?
they're raising funds for themselves.
And they're gonna store it in Ether?
They're gonna store it in Ether.
What?
It's their money's going into their vault.
For them, we can't, then if the price of Ether goes down, we have to
Then they
have
lose
more to
money.
make up the,
We don't have to do anything. We are providing them the software
okay.
and the support, and it's their campaign. If they want to create a milestone that says we want to cash some of this out to fiat, I will approve that. I will approve that.
I mean, they will do that,
Well,
inevitably.
I don't know.
They're not gonna work in
I
Ether.
don't, well, they're not
Maybe
gonna
they're
work in
gonna-
Ether, but maybe they think it's in their best interest to hold on to Ether. Now, I think most people feel that way, whether it's true or not. I might advise them to take 20% out right away and cash it out, right? However,
But it's really their call.
I
to say, well, they-
haven't heard back from them because I talked to them a couple times and said, hey, make sure this is cool with whatever the rules are around your foundation to accept Ether from a smart contract. Because they're a Swiss foundation, I'm pretty confident that we won't have any issues there. However, if they were a German company or a German nonprofit, they would not even be able to work with us. Right? So,
So but what we're doing for them is just allowing people to put money into their account,
yeah, to put money into their vaults.
into their vault. But we're not doing anything else. So they're doing their campaign, they're promoting it.
I mean, I'll probably help promote them,
Yeah,
but not
it's
like.
just to, just to set our responsibility.
and honestly,
We can help,
when
but
I
it's
promote
not our
them,
responsibility.
I'm also going to promote Trellet. I'm going to promote our vault audit. I've decided to hold off on our vault audit for this, and because Jordy's made this beautiful balloon contract. Look at him, he just loves his balloons. I think it'd be good to go. I have an interview scheduled with the Bitcoin podcast with Petty Sonnerstock, and we'll talk about this, and I'll talk about all of our campaigns that we have.
We also said that we will sell T-shirts and for them to get the proceeds.
Wow. I forgot that I'm live streaming.
Remember that?
Yeah, I guess I can't do both. That's really
But
too bad I didn't go through all the
Grace
things.
can go on the trial, no?
Yeah, she can.
I don't have
You don't have one of these HDMI? That should be on this side.
no.
Or you can just
HDMI.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
an old
CD.
computer,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, look at that, really
Even
easy.
more.
You're so generous with that.
I know.
That's why I work for Giveth.
Exactly.
How do I make it the screen big?
There you go.
It's already linked. Just
Look at that.
maximize it. Yeah, if you actually, if you just drag it to the top, it automatically goes.
Okay. So we got off on a tangent. I guess we need to define this a little more succinctly because there are a lot of solutions. I thought the easiest solution would just be make the UI and make it work. Because to me, in my mind, that is just, and I'm not a dev, but to me it's like, okay, take all these data fields that already exist, put them into new milestones, and add this milestone to it, or edit, or we can be like, would you like to edit the milestones? And then they all come out preloaded with the data,
Sure.
and they can just change the numbers.
For that, however, I would be very happy if deployment of new milestones wouldn't cancel the existing ones.
I would too. However, in our smart contract, that does not.
Can we upgrade the smart contract?
That's such a pain. That's to me at least, it seems like a lot more work than just changing some UI.
At some point, we definitively are going to upgrade the milestone contract to adapt it to the system, to the
Charlotte?
to liquid pledging.
Oh yeah, obviously.
And probably it's not going to be a multi-milestone, it's going to be a single milestone. This will make things much more simple. And you just go milestone by milestone. Because here is, in this system, I think it's more, okay, the milestone just cancel, so you cancel the milestone and create a new milestone. It's not that you are changing the milestone provider, it's like you are canceling a milestone and creating a new one.
No, because the pain
it will
is,
make much more,
if you
it will make
do
more
a change
sense,
of
much more
milestone, if you do a change of one milestone, it cancels everything and it
Yeah.
like proposes the same milestones again. Someone needs to approve them again. Like,
Yeah, when we go, if we have this hierarchy of projects, and we go to milestones and whatever, the things gets much more easy. And the milestone contract can be just a single milestone. That's the job. That's it. You create a milestone or remove the milestone. And you don't have to upgrade or change or whatever. Just
Right.
don't you teach it?
I would tell you to, but no.
No, not on the live stream. And maybe change the time preference on that.
Yes, I will.
So okay, so
You can just click on the battery.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, you can click the battery. Yeah, that one.
Right, I'm running out of battery to run it.
Yeah. You mean brain battery or
Just red, laptop.
all batteries.
laptop battery? Thank God. That's easily fixed. Okay, so I really think that the dirty fix to just make this work this week is just create a button that says edit milestones and it pre-fills all of the milestones.
Sure. No, I'm just arguing that whatever you edit, you need someone to approve them again.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that's built in the smart contract.
Yeah,
Because-
that's because the smart contract was a more complex thing. So it was for a multi-milestone,
Yeah.
like a campaign. It was we were mixing.
And I have to, no matter what, every time that there's any change in milestone, it will require me specifically to reject or approve the
Yeah.
proposal.
What I'm saying is that with the liquid pledging, we can transfer a lot of the functionality that right now is in the milestone, and that's sucking us a lot. And we can move that to the liquid pledging, and only keeping the milestone, just the very small.
I want to avoid going too long term right now, because yes, but this is specifically high pri in the current DAP, right? So the next one is there's a missing function which needs to be added to our thing, which is when it times out, the person who is allowed to actually request milestone payment complete, right? If the viewer doesn't say anything in 7 days, there's a missing function from our UI. Request milestone payment. And then I think that Jason will definitely do this one, make into a one pager, not 3 tabs. I'm pretty sure he's hot to trot to combine all of the vault milestones and change how the milestones are viewed, so that like we don't need it to have all the milestones listed in the vault and the milestone tab, and that some of the details are the same, and that maybe we can combine it to one page. And then, well, look at that. Did you just have that card? Oh, my heart is like, oh God.
How much ether is there in the bounty? No bounty, man.
Yeah, I don't see any ether there. I'll have to assign that. So there's one other big thing that I'm going to move to Hypride because it's kind of needed. Where am I? There we go. It's we need this. We need to be able to use a multisig on our UI. Right now, you have to be an account, and I have no idea how to do that. This $500 is 2 ether. I'll make it 2 ether right now, because this is like an adventure. And Jason said that he thought he could do it. And honestly, I just don't think it's possible to make it easy. Because we work in ether, I'm happy with that. But like if I have a multisig I can't right now. I can't do the reviewer as a 1 of 3 multisig. It won't work on a UI. And I mean that's a problem. So that's also high priority because this isn't even possible.
I remember Jordi started to do something about it, but I don't know where it ended up.
Stage it is, but
Okay.
theoretically, from
Because
start-
we discussed it, right?
Yeah, we discussed it, and theoretically this is done in the API.
Okay.
So it's just
Okay.
a matter of putting there, but it's not easy because there are a lot of possibilities, and but it's done in there. I would say that's done in my site. Let's say. Okay. The other thing is that you have to put that together, and then you need to check if it's
It's done on your side, maybe in the code world, but you'll have to talk to people because they can't just.
but it's like it's not an easy functionality, and
It's not.
But
Although it seems like you could just
the thing
rip
is
out
that-
the
but
addresses off the multi-sig.
let me talk about on this because this is something that we are going to use it anyway in any places. Okay,
Yeah.
we started with multi-sig, but it's going to happen. And this is going to be very common in the dApps states. Okay, so this is something that from the infrastructure part that we need to talk. When some user can do an action in the user interface, in general, the normal place is just to put a button, okay?
Yeah.
And the button does an action, okay? But what happens if you are not the user? So if you are part of a multi-sig that can do that action. So that means that this button needs to be different, okay? It's not a button and need to make another kind of actions, okay?
Yeah.
If you are part of multi-sig, or maybe you are part of a DAO, okay, and you want to execute that, or you don't want to, so you probably are voting to execute that, or you are applying for execute that, or you are proposing to execute that, okay?
Yeah.
So the kind of things that you can do in an action changes. So that means that we need to think a little bit more generic, and when we are creating user interfaces, the actions, okay, the button action, we need to think like a much more complex, but should be the same for any action that we do. Okay, that should be do an action where we think that can be any governance system, any distributed governance system that can run in there. Okay, so it's like, okay, let's define an action as a JSON that can be like a multisig, a DAO, or whatever, and let's try to find in React or like a component that's instead of being a button, it's replaceable with a button that do actions. Okay, and when we have this infrastructure things solved, then we will not care anymore if this can be done for a multi-sig, or it can be done for
A DAO or
for a DAO or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be thinking that the right way. But this is infrastructure. Okay, this
yeah,
is not
it's something we're going to
project
use a
related.
million times.
It's something that we're going to use a million times, and we need to develop that.
Yeah, and it's a concept. I mean, it's a
Yeah, and we are going to use whatever DApp that we do it in this kind of DApp. That know that the users do things. Okay, we are going to need this. This
I
boot.
mean, this is the thing. Every milestone is
So-
I expect is going to. I mean, it already requires an arbitrator.
So
to
for
do
me,
stuff.
I would redo this milestone here. It's not fix for the DApp. It's just fix it, but create the button in order, and then use that button in the.
But on the other hand, you also don't want to do it, because then you are vulnerable for an attack from the campaign, where the campaign defines an action to be done, and like basically you inject it into your UI, and it can be like
Yeah,
some
but
money
the UI
to
should
wherever.
be well.
Oh,
we need to-
okay. Okay, well, I'll
Okay.
tell you right now, this conversation just convinced me that we'll be doing a reviewer where it's just me, and we'll be doing a multi-sig, and we will reduce this from high fry back to deuce. But that was fun. It was a fun dream. Okay, so that's what we gotta. This is so it looks like our to-do list is smaller. There's a few things that would make me more proud of our DApp, and the other one is aesthetic. Okay, like.
I would be very happy with that.
Yeah, aesthetics. Because here's the thing, guys. We're about a week away from really rich Ethereum people going to our DApp.
What?
What?
Yeah, we're about a week away
Ah,
from really rich Ethereum people checking out our DApp.
what makes
You
you
know?
say that?
Because we're going to start raising money for slave-free trade, and they're not going to target the common user. Or I'm advising them not to. I'm advising them specifically to target people that were in the audience when he took off his clothes, right? And those people are Joseph Lubin. Those people are Christopher Harbin was there, right? Like there are some real big guys, and I want to be proud of our DApp, okay? And I'm not. So
And in a week, you want to be,
no, maybe I won't end up being extremely proud of our DApp. I'm proud of our idea and concept, and honestly, tell me some other DApps that don't have to do with gambling that are up right now. Okay, those are the only ones that have the incentive structure to actually make them look nice.
Small city.
It doesn't sound live to me. What?
It's all like that. Like,
It's on live net, but it's not.
great. You can have a
It's in
picture
testing.
and a number. Up in there. Convinced me.
Yeah, no, it's nice. And on the 15th, if you guys do a good job,
15.
yeah, on the 15th, then I'll be able to say that. But right now,
I would like
Okay.
to say that for me, that's my kind of things that maybe just opinion, okay? But I think that we don't have many opportunities to launch this project, okay? Okay, so if we are launching this project and it fails, for whatever reason, so for a lack of user interface, for smart contracts doesn't work, for security reasons, or for lack of community, whatever, okay? I don't know if we will have a second chance, but for sure we're not going to have a third chance. You know, this is.
yeah,
you-
I think we'll have a second chance.
Yeah, but the
we'll
thing
have
is
a-
that when we launch something, something new, I am not saying just creating a test campaign between friends. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just saying launching. Okay,
Yeah.
launching is let's make it this big.
Yeah.
We need to be sure. Right now it's
Yeah.
like and right now
No.
I don't feel like we can launch for sure.
We just say beta.
Yeah. So I mean, we need to
I
put
mean,
data all over
alpha
the
or
website.
I mean-
proof of concept at
Or
most.
set up-
Prototype.
Okay, Griff, this is the first time I hear about it, okay? So, What I want to hear from you right now is priorities. Is the aim of this weekend to come up with a solution that we want to build in 6 months from now? Or is the aim of this weekend to revise what we have right now and fix as much as we can on for the next week?
The aim of the weekend is the former, the first.
Okay.
However, it is relevant that we need to do some work on our DApp because we are working with these guys. It is the perfect opportunity to raise $500,000 with our project. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, it's a perfect opportunity to just fuck up the project at all.
Absolutely. But that's always the launch, right?
Yeah,
The
no,
Swarm
that's-
City's in the same spot.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
love
but
for us to be ready
but-
to launch at DEFCON. That was to me like the objective.
Well, then we shouldn't be working with a real project, which is actually what I was saying
You gotta be
before we
you gotta-
did this.
You gotta, as a person that's just launched a company like the last couple of months, you know, and you gotta beta or alpha, whatever you wanna call it, with real people, see
Yeah.
the real problems, you know, before you can launch for real with these.
My original opinion before Switzerland was that we should work with only people who are open source developers that are more excited about like funding their smart contract dev work or something small, not that big, not that major, that's just like, you know, prototype people. But then this opportunity is real, man. You know, this is it, and maybe it's too big. Maybe we put a cap on them of a certain amount, so it doesn't get too exciting. Maybe there's lots of interesting solutions, but
Yeah, you need to be sure what we are doing, okay? So launching a real campaign of that, if it's possible, this is gonna consume a lot of resources, especially your resources, and of course if the developers' resources and everybody's resources.
And that's the other goal for this weekend is to exactly, understand how much of the resources do we need in order to get where we want to get next.
yeah,
And then start calling them. for-
Yeah, but supposing that we have the resources, okay? This is gonna consume a bunch of resources. Of course, we need to analyze how many, okay?
Mhm.
And maybe this is gonna delay all the other part, okay? So, just saying that this decision is not something that we need to take it for sure, but this
Yeah.
decision, it can have implications and can have big implications of the run of the project,
for sure.
okay?
Now, I would say that our DApp is workable. It's not destroyed. There are just a few little things that we definitely need to fix. Now, whether or not we're officially launching this, or if we frame it in a way where this is our alpha project, and we're excited to learn how this system works and solve some major things, and there's some issues already that we have with the way that it's structured, but we're gonna give it a shot with these guys, you know, and it's our like third soft launch.
Yeah, I think that doing this kind of project is just focusing on how do things for real,
Yeah.
and just keeping a lot of, sometimes the future is going this way, because we need just things working on a certain way.
Yeah.
So I see this, it's just another way that we are taking for the moment. I am comfortable with both, but I am not going to work with both. Yeah. So I am not. It's not. No, we are doing something for this project, and the goal is this project is working for DEFCON, for instance. Why not? But we still will work for the future at the same time. No.
Yeah,
No,
you know,
no,
like-
because I think are different things. One is that is a minimum viable product
Yeah.
with a fixed client. Another thing is build bigger things and investigate and so on, because we need to adapt to some necessities of these guys.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
my point is, I see. Okay, we have this product online, so in
Yeah.
real, okay. Who is using this product?
We
Us. You are using, but so us, we are using. You are not proud, okay, at all. And what are the other guys that are using that?
Alice is on it, but they're not using
But
it.
they are not using. What else?
My Ether wallet is on it, and they're not using
Not
it.
using.
And then blockchains.com would like us to start.
And
As soon as possible.
they are not using.
They're not using,
Okay.
but they know how to use.
So we have only one user,
Mhm.
and it's not proud of it.
Yep.
Okay? And you want to launch in Rail.
No,
Okay?
I want
It's-
to prototype, and I want to help these guys.
we can help these guys, okay? We can make an ACO if it's necessary for them, okay? But it's not, but from the project point of view, if we have four users, 3 of them are not using, and 1 of them is not proud of it,
Yeah.
There's something wrong there.
sincerely,
Well, so-
I will not do it, okay?
Yeah.
This with this way, okay?
Yeah,
Maybe
for
they need
sure.
an ICO, and we can do an ICO, okay? If that's what we need. But that's another story. That's not a project.
Well, they're not doing an ICO. That's
No, I-
donations.
A donation. Sorry, yeah. The status is doing a donation too.
But
Okay.
you could call it a token sell for a charity.
Yeah, you can do a token sell for a charity, and we have experience. We have the smart contract. We can create the mini and we help them, and we have enough experience to help them. Okay.
Okay.
But that's another story.
So
okay?
let's go with this.
That's not Giveth, I would say.
Let's say, what do we need to get to the point where it's a good idea to take this opportunity? Because this is an opportunity. These guys are super legit. They are really the perfect prototype real charity, which I will say, because we had this discussion, 2 weeks ago, Jordy, and you were on the other side of the fence, right? In the car going there, we were talking that we need real charities to
I
work
want
on.
to give, I want to have real charities, okay? I want to have real charities, and I want to push, I want to do that for real. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that for whatever, okay? But I don't want, but we cannot, one thing is having a charity where we can play on, we are a charity, maybe we can have a list, or maybe we can have these guys and just play with us.
Yeah.
Okay? And the other thing is making the launch, launching that book.
I definitely don't think we're making a launch.
No, I would say it differently. One thing is we decide what we want to build and we build it. Another thing is we just alter the system we have until it is what we actually want to do. But this will be very slow, very painful, and could be potentially dangerous.
The question is, for the other one, I don't know if they're mutually exclusive, maybe they are, but if we alter
it's just-
if
you
we
just-
alter the system,
Separate resources. I mean, you just lose.
Yes.
if we
If they're, that's the mutual exclusion of them.
oh yeah,
But
we
like,
only
other than
have
that, no.
limited time and, yeah.
Yes.
But okay, yeah, got it. So if we alter the system as it is now and try to onboard these people, will we learn a lot that will help inform the other one?
Mm.
Yes.
Is kind of the question. Is it worth it? Do we want to miss on this opportunity to learn from these people? Because
Right, but I mean, the thing is, we already know that certain things are wrong and don't work as we want, right? For example, editing the milestones,
Did you-
basically one by
But
one.
that's like 2 hours.
Like this one, in the forum we talked about it, yes, it is. Yeah, but if we want to do it properly and change it to really you're editing one milestone, you're not editing all of them and
Yeah,
browsing.
when we start
That's a
integrating
different,
delegates.
that's a different
Now, here's,
matter entirely.
well, I'll let Grace say before I dive in. What were you gonna say?
I forgot because
Oh,
I didn't
sorry.
say when I was saying that.
I'm sorry.
So the other thing is not just learning about the code base, but learning about the cultural requirements of working with a real charity, right? Which will teach us about, because I'm happy, honestly, I'm still happy going back to the idea of just working with open source development projects helping them raise 25 grand so they can pay a dev to work on something for a few months. And just working with that small concept to get people using this system, just like Colony is live testing, just like Swarm City is live testing, you know, doing like real user tests. Before we have the full big design, but just focusing on, hey, these are projects and milestones. Let's just understand this, let's play with this like a little bit and explore the unknown unknowns, right? I really like that idea. Now, this is an opportunity to raise too much money and dow it, you know? Like, seriously.
So the question is there any risk for us to do this and lose something in the end? Like, you know,
The risk would be that the first impression of
It's
Christopher
not,
Harburn or Joseph Lubin or any other giant billionaire in
Right.
the ecosystem.
and then they say, forget about it, this doesn't work, these people don't know what to do,
Yeah,
or whatever.
this is,
Like,
what a dinky little project.
yeah.
Yeah, that,
Which is what I'm worried. This is what I was gonna say. I'm worried about one thing, and this is.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think that, first of all, I think I'm more comfortable with doing a real project than a project that maybe nobody is using. Because the reality now is, okay, maybe when the last version everything was very solved for common users, everybody is going to use that. But there's a lot about open problems about the daily usage.
Mhm.
And if we solve these problems, things will be much better.
I'm not sure I understand, can you?
Yes, I think it's, okay, for instance, Aragon will have customers because it's doing automatically something like ECOS, yeah, the token officer, but Gnosis, I don't know who is using Gnosis, for instance,
Mhm.
and I think you can use it now.
Yeah.
Who is using Gnosis? Yeah, and I think that could happen is exactly the same. So we did a lot of things, we spent a lot of time and effort, and at the end nobody's using it.
Hmm.
So I think the best success is to get people using things.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if we can work closer with these guys and support these guys with all the kind of problems that they're going to have on the network, so it will be a success, but incredible success.
Yeah.
Because all the community wants to see people using this technology, not for trading only. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
Absolutely.
I think everybody's here for that. Not, yeah.
absolutely.
Because if not,
this-
we're creating tools to manage tokens and so on, and create markets and secondary markets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that. So I think it's I feel more comfortable with getting closer to our real project and learning from real things.
So let's have our first like impromptu vote on who wants to, actually what I would say is divide our team in two in a sense, and have some people focus on actually the current projects we have, which are Slave Free Trade, Trell and the Vault, raising money to audit our smart contracts, which the Vault and Vault Controller are going to change to Jordy's node contract, and basically I'm going to have a conversation with blockchains.com and say the Vault Controller that we have is not the right solution, and that we should scrap it and use this other node, the balloon contract, right? So we have our Trelleth audits and building Trelleth. We have auditing this smart contract, and we have these, and then we have our long-term goals. So in my world, in my mind, there's no way we stop working on the long-term goals. We're always going to be working on the long-term goals. So it's really, do we only focus on long-term, or do we kind of divide and conquer? Some people are working on short-term, some people are working on long-term.
I like to add.
Can I, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I like to add another option. I think that we should not work on travel. I think it's too much. I think that it spreads us too thin, and it just creates a user interface that effectively fulfills the functionality that we already have.
Okay.
It's another company.
I don't think we can vote on that, but that's definitely an option. Like, okay, Trelleth is a maybe. I'll accept Trelleth as a maybe for sure.
Because if we're talking about being spread too thin,
Yeah.
I think that that's a good place to be.
I want to remind you guys the first thing I started with is that Kai put up a spreadsheet of people that are dying to work with us.
Yeah.
We're not short on resources in any sense of the word, but that's a perception. That's why I'm begging for Oz to come and help us with the management of these resources.
And there is a different thing as well. Like, sure, we have a lot of resources, but they have zero knowledge of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
Yeah,
takes
for
time.
sure.
Like,
absolutely, it takes time.
Just wanted to
I
toss
mean, if we now contact everyone there and tell them, okay, fix what is in the high priority, I'm not sure if they could do that.
No, definitely not.
We throw at you money.
But we probably, what was this? Slave Free Trade has 70 people that are begging to do stuff, and they are well managed and well organized, and they could do
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
But
for us.
just look at it like this. Imagine that you have a woman who is pregnant and you tell her, listen, we want that baby to be here next month. So we're going to put these 4 women to help you with it.
I honestly don't think that's a fair analogy.
It actually is, kind of is a fair analogy. It's called the mythical man month. The idea is that when you don't know about, when you're not a software developer, you think by adding more people to it, you're going to make the project go shorter, but actually it goes longer.
Well, but if we have 2 projects instead of 1, right? Or really 4 projects instead of 1.
I have a quick
Yeah.
challenge, which I could be totally shot down. Why do we have to work on long-term stuff? Why can't we just work on short-term stuff every single, in the short term, you know, short term, it leads to long term.
I
Let me
think,
know.
but I think it's valid to, it's not valid to call it long term, because what I would like is to have something
6 months
that
from now.
we can actually show in
Yeah.
November.
November.
It's 6
that's-
months
that-
from
that's-
now. It's
for
not
me,
long
that's not
term.
long
It's
term.
like
It's
6 months
terrible.
from now.
Yeah,
So it's
It's like
unfair to
building
call
a
it long
project.
term.
yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
It's not long
So,
term.
but to Adria's kind of point, you know, about like, the problem with doing a 6-month project, right, is that if you don't work with a real charity along the way, you build these tools 6 months later, you build Trellis, you build something else, you know, and then it's like, oh, actually half of this isn't actually useful. If we had kind of worked short-term goal with real people, maybe
Yeah.
you wouldn't avoid that issue. I'm just opening it up.
Yeah,
for
I
discussion.
agree here, and I think that what we were talking about earlier, where we said that the most important thing is going to be the community, and that the smart contract should be built around the community and not around the contract should be like secondary. So because of that, I would be in favor of starting to release a little bit. Yeah, to get people using it and to get feedback and see how it works. But saying that, I'm not sure how much time I will have to give to the project.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't want to be making decisions for other people.
No.
I just want to put my opinion out.
I think it's a good time to just call a vote, and it's not like a majority decision or anything. It's just an informative, non-binding vote.
But it,
Okay, well, give the 2 options though, because
unclear.
when he gives the 2 options, you kind of went. well,
Yeah.
I
It's
want to,
unclear
it's
what it
one,
is.
for me, one question because for me it's very important, okay? This campaign has his own agenda, okay? And of course has its own needs, and it's not, you know, it's not the same that we are taking a campaign that's helping us, and of course we are also helping them, okay? But we are going both together, and you know, we have an interaction, and you know, right now it's okay. This is not work, okay? Let's do it, and maybe it takes 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but you know, the campaign is like maybe waiting a little bit for us, or like they need it a little bit, we can push a little bit more, and we work more or less together, and we're more or less in the same page,
Yeah.
okay? But the problem is, if we are not in the same, you know, if we don't fit in the same agenda, okay, because okay, we need to fix that, but they need to do that for the next week, and this is not done, and it doesn't fit, then this is going to be a problem for them and for us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's and the thing is that I don't really know how flexible. I agree with that. I would love that maybe some guy, if we decide, for example, that we launch this campaign, but we launch it in 6 months with a new product, let's say, I think it's very worthy that maybe one guy of this campaign be working with us and see what we are doing, and we are preparing all together. But that's not exactly the same taking something that has not been proven. I'm not saying it will not work, okay? I will say that
Yeah.
it's not more or less okay, and trying to push, okay? Because
Yeah.
maybe that doesn't, it looks, right here, it looks like it's gonna be some problem or some conflict there, okay? And maybe at some point we need to redo the full app or whatever, and maybe we will not be able to do it in his agenda time.
Yeah.
And then it is gonna be worse. So that's the thing that I don't, if this information,
Yeah, well,
I don't know exactly
They
how-
need money now. They need money now. They
So, can I also say something?
yeah.
So there is, I went through an experience in a startup, and we were confronted with the sort of dilemma whether we actually go out there and start, showing the product and start getting some feedback, but we knew the product wasn't ready.
Yeah.
We all knew it. And not only that, let's say out of the 100 issues that it had, we knew 50 for sure were there. And we knew that they were bad, and we knew what they would do, what kind of consequences they would bring. So, but there was this sort of pressure, but we need to get it out there, we need to get it, we have investors that are looking to see, we need to release it. So we went and released it. So you would say, okay, we released it so that we can learn from it. Actually, you only learn from it when you know that you are putting your best out, in terms like, okay, it's workable, it actually is gonna do
Yeah.
something. But we released it knowing that it actually was going to do things wrong in some ways, right? I'm not saying that it was gonna kill anyone, but the moral of the story is that the first impression really hurt us.
Okay, but
Because the adoption was very low after we released the one that we actually wanted to release in the first place.
Yeah.
So there was always that sort of relation to, but that's a piece of crap, or this didn't work well, and we had it. So it was actually released to people that are not very friendly or familiar with the technology.
yeah,
Nurses and caretakers, and it was like you only have one chance with them. I'm not saying that that's the case here, right? But we had a one chance with these people, and we blew it in that sense.
yeah.
So this is maybe a different situation altogether. But what I'm saying is that if they need money, maybe we can do like a mini ICO, and I'm not saying that an ICO needs to be an ICO because maybe we can actually work with them in a way that they can get, money like this, and we can actually work towards something that we can show in November, because I
Well,
really want to
this-
have
Yeah.
something that we can show.
This, well, that's effectively what we're doing here. Because a multi-sig, or because an ICO would just be a contract that sends money to a multi-sig, and that's what we have here. That's the basic architecture we have here. We have multi-sig that holds things, and things get passed around, and they come back, and effectively, it's an ICO machine.
Yeah.
And we have this technology, okay? So it's not going to be the first time that we are using our infrastructure to create a kind of ICO, okay? And I think this part we feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I would add one thing, Grace, to what you're saying, because I agree very much. And that's one thing that's important. It's not the image, it's not the product that you are launching. It's I would say it's more internal in the team. It's you have to launch a product that you really believe in the product. You need to be proud of the product that you are launching.
Yeah,
Okay?
because it
You need
shows
to be
in every
sure.
interaction that
You need
have
to be
with
sure
someone.
that your product is perfect. And if you find something that doesn't work, you fix it at that moment.
At
Okay?
that
And
moment, exactly.
but you must feel when you're launching, you must feel strong.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to feel
Yeah, yeah.
the right
I
way.
agree.
Okay, right now, if we see one of the things we have, for example, if we have to launch Mini, I feel strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I have to feel an ICO, I feel strong. If I have, so there are some pieces that we have
Yeah.
that I feel
The
strong.
vault, we're strong with.
The vault.
The vault, the part the real vault, the original vault, I feel strong.
Yeah.
The other structure,
No, no.
not so much.
Okay, wait. I want to hear Kai.
Yeah, I just want to say, for me, it's supporting your opinion now. What is Giveth? Is Giveth a debt? Or
Yeah.
is it? Yeah, I know it is, but maybe, I mean, what is the central idea? Donation 3.0 or having a debt? Or what's the more important thing?
Donation
Like, you can
3.0.
be Giveth, you can say, you can launch it as a Giveth ICO for them because they don't know how to do it. This thing will be ready at some point. Everybody believes that, everybody's sure.
Right.
But you can say, we are using your knowledge, to make,
Pieces that
to
we have
help
already.
them.
Yeah, to help them.
And this is because the software is not ready. We cannot
Yeah.
use this system. I mean, you can introduce ideas of the system and how it will work
Yeah.
on the sidelines, but you can still make something like this under the Giveth name, in my opinion, and everybody, for me, it makes complete sense.
So it's a matter
Because-
of how you communicate.
Because they can do it, they can't throw an ICO. And an
Yeah.
ICO is already donation
And-
3.0. This is donation 4.0.
Yeah.
You see?
Well, and we definitely will have their data on the blockchain. The only question is, can we display it correctly? To me, right? I'm just not happy with the UI. That's it.
Yeah.
But hold on, no more talking. Let's raise some hands, right? And the question is it worth spending time away from spending time, resources, not focused on the November deadline? Like, to me, that is the main thing. Do we focus completely on getting something out for November, or do we play around with some real projects and see what we can learn from that? Right, those are the two
Yeah.
options. Okay, so raise your hand if you think we should be November. Wait,
No, I
And
don't
is that
agree.
they should not be completely different, right?
okay.
You can't say, I'm gonna play around with the project and I'm gonna forget about.
How would you think about, how would you rephrase the
Well,
questions?
the other one would be we do both, and one is we only do one.
I think, in order for me to vote on this,
Yeah.
I need to be well educated in the sense that I can understand what are the implications on one and the other. So when we say, let's go for the pilot,
Yeah.
what exactly does it mean? We're gonna take the mini-me, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. It could be a matter of a couple of weeks, we're ready for this pilot, and this pilot can just run it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I
Right?
think.
And we're talking
Yeah.
about that in 6 months we want to have an application. But in the meantime, you're working on the UI. We have like tasks that we are all gonna work for that for that
Well,
November.
how much is
version
going
to
to be
be
the
out.
cost
So
of this?
I don't see it how that
I mean,
stops the other.
can
from
we have
it.
a non-binding, just so I can get the information and feedback from everyone?
No, it's not the
Gut
same.
feel, gut
If
check.
this is going, Griff, it's not the same. The answer is not the same.
Well,
If this is
but-
going to cost 4 hours of
No,
mine,
the
it's
answer
going to
is-
cost
4 hours of mine.
100 hours of all the team. It's not the same.
If it's split halfway, then we can keep debating, and if it's one lopsided or the other, then we'll just move the conversation to during dinner. You know, we only have like 0 minutes left.
I
so.
think we can actually have a rough estimate. What does it mean to get the project, this pilot running? We can have like an idea,
Yeah,
and then we can start.
that's a good idea. Time stop it. Say, let's just, for the sake of argument, say that this is a 3-week project, 4-week project?
It-
That's the thing, we don't know.
Just
No,
to guess. just to
I
guess.
have
guesstimate,
I have
yeah.
a strong opinion, right?
Okay.
So what it will take is a week and a half of focusing on our UI, our current UI, and making it pretty, right? Aesthetically acceptable, at least, and these high priority issues solved, because like obviously these are
So
critical issues.
those are the list of things that we need to do.
Yeah, just these 5 things.